What's happening?
I have no idea, but is there an agenda in the chat?
Yeah,
Oh, what's going on? Oh, yeah, this thing.
You were writing as we were talking, Alex.
trying to get everything done.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Whatever time zone you happen to be in, welcome to Leaders Worldwide Online Toastmasters Club. Our club mission, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Leaders Worldwide is designed for politicians, business leaders, nonprofit leaders, entrepreneurs, as well as anyone who wants to make their message heartfelt and authentic. Core values, integrity, respect, service, and excellence. We are Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters, where leaders are made.
And let's introduce our president, Rosemary Sweeney.
I am here. Thank you so much, Master Alex, for your amazing introduction. I just love that way we introduce our meeting. And I am thankful to everyone who is here this afternoon, morning in your place at our meeting. We are going to have an amazing time, an awesome time, because everyone here will get a chance to speak. Toastmaster Thompson, I notice you're asking for an agenda. We do not have a printed agenda. However, I will give you the progression of the meeting, how we expect it to flow today, because we have and I'm thankful to Dee Marie and the others who came up with an agenda of how we will conduct our meeting today. So today we are going to have two speakers, Toastmaster Alex and Toastmaster Dee Marie. Alex will speak first and Dee Marie will speak after. They will evaluate each other's speeches. Our grammarian will be Toastmaster Judith, and she will also be our timer. No, our grammarian, sorry, will
No,
be
no, no, no.
Dee Marie. Sorry, will be Dee Marie. And the Toastmaster Judith will be our table topic speaker and will serve as our timer for the first part of the meeting. I am the Toastmaster of the meeting and will serve as timer for the table topic speeches. Oh, we do not have a general evaluator as yet. I see Toastmaster Cassandra. Could you be the general evaluator?
I'm the general
Yeah,
evaluator,
Karen
Rosemary. That's why.
accepted that.
No, excuse me.
Lisa, I'm sorry, you're right. Thank you.
I am the general evaluator.
Oh, okay, so Toastmaster Lisa is our general evaluator.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
No, I am the general evaluator.
Who is I am?
Cassandra.
Oh.
Uh-oh, now I have two of them.
Okay.
I thought Toastmaster Lisa was table topics.
She has volunteered to do whatever role she needed to do. Judith has some specific mental health awareness table topics questions. So she volunteered to go ahead and be our general evaluator. There was nothing in the Free Toast Host agenda, so I didn't know. And I tried to reach you, and I didn't know if you were coming or not. So Lisa accepted it.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
So Toastmaster Lisa, can you evaluate Toastmaster Dee Marie?
We don't.
Lisa.
She's not there.
Oh, she dropped. That internet, it seems the next project we do is to build leaders worldwide internet service so we can go ahead.
If it worked, we'd make money off of it because other people would buy it, so they wouldn't be dropping as well.
Yeah, that's what
what-
I'm scared of. Okay, so Toastmaster Cassandra is the general evaluator.
Well, I talked to Dee Marie last night, and I told her I was going to be the evaluator. General
Tabletop.
In all
evaluator.
fairness, Cassandra, I tried to reach you today and I got no response. And there's nothing on the agenda in the Free Toast Host, so I didn't know.
Okay,
needed to
so
cover the
we
meeting, okay?
we are going to have.
Fine, that's fine, that's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
When Lisa comes on, I am going to ask her if she can evaluate the table topic speakers because I think this is a portion of the meeting where we leave out. So hopefully she comes back on. And so our meeting is called to order. Today we are going to have two speakers, as I said, Toastmaster Dee Marie and Toastmaster Alex, and they're going to evaluate each other. We have our table topics master, Toastmaster Judith. Our timer will be Toastmaster Judith and myself. Our grammarian will be Toastmaster Dee Marie. So I now call on Dee Marie to introduce the word of the day. Let's make her feel welcome.
Hello, everyone, and happy Memorial Day. Today's word of the day is pivot, and that means to move or change directions. And I will be dealing with and addressing pivot from the position of a business. You want to pivot and change directions in the structure or the way you're managing your business. So the word of the day is pivot.
Thank you. And we are going to all pivot our actions this evening or today to ensure that we take in whatever is spoken. At this time, I will call on Toastmaster Alex, our first speaker. He's currently enjoying Memorial Day, and he's going to share with us something about Happy Memorial Day. Let's make Toastmaster Alex feel welcome as he shares with us Happy Memorial Day.
Well, fellow Toastmasters, happy Memorial Day. And when you think of Memorial Day, I always think of the 3-day weekend and all the wonderful things, the barbecues and the parades. And when I worked for the Red Cross years ago, one of the things that I did was we used to make posters for the veterans because it's about veterans. And one of the problems was somebody put, Memorial Day really isn't about being happy. Yes, you've got all the stuff that I just said, but Memorial Day is really a day of remembrance for those that we've lost in all the wars that we've fought. And when you look at it that way, it kind of really gives a different sense to the Memorial Day sale that we might get something from, or that barbecue. And when you look at what Memorial Day really means, it's thinking about those people making that sacrifice that they did. We have when you think of veterans, you think of all the veterans from our previous wars. You think of the World War II veterans and the Vietnam vets that are so prevalent. But we've got a lot of, unfortunately, widows and widowers that we deal with on a regular basis from the wars that are still going on today. One of the images that always kind of haunts me is that young bride or young wife at the gravesite with the blanket and the newborn son or the newborn daughter. And they're just spending the day while she's obviously upset. Memorial Day isn't just for the loss of men, it's for the loss of women as well, because we have so many women that are in the armed services. Yes, they might not be necessarily holding that gun, so to speak, but they're in other roles in the forward areas. So when you think of this day or this weekend, it's kind of a solemn weekend. Yes, it's the beginning of summer. Yes, we should be happy to have this 3-day weekend. But everybody should take that moment, whatever that is, whether it's a minute or longer, to not only just wear your red, white, and blue and wave your flag, but try to remember someone that has either served or that has also passed on because of the ultimate sacrifice. And I think that it's one of those things that kind of hits home to me because I was lucky enough that my brother, my nephew, my uncles, and my father were all in the military, yet thankfully they all came home. And I think that one of the reasons why it's such an important day to me is because we have so many people in our family that were part of the military. On my wife's side, if you've ever seen the movie Dunkirk, which I know is about the English getting trapped in France during World War II. Well, my wife's grandfather was there, and he was trapped on the French side, and the English Navy couldn't come and get it because they couldn't move them. So there was private boats that came and got a lot of these soldiers. And although, again, it wasn't an American story, if it wasn't for all of these people during the wars, we wouldn't be as free as we are. And we wouldn't be as hopefully thankful as we are. And I think one of the things that really is an important thing is we all get wrapped up in our own lives, which we should. But the fact is, every so often, we need to think about how lucky we are to live where we do. With all the craziness that goes along, some of the problems that we have is our latte's not as hot as we'd like it to be. Or, we get a flat tire. Or the kid doesn't make the grades. And these are the things that we should obviously think about at the right time, but at the same time, once a year on a weekend, while you're sipping that fruity drink or enjoying that hot dog, take a second to remember those people that we had lost for just lucky or unlucky or just being at the wrong place at the wrong time. So thank you and good night. Back to you.
Thank you for reminding us that Memorial Day is not all about barbecues and having a party, but it is being grateful for those who have saved lives and has saved the world, because sometimes these things can escalate and everyone, even me, can be included. So thank you. Our second speaker is Toastmaster D. Marie. And I just with my book, thank you. And Toastmaster D. Marie will be presenting to us the power of integrity. And let us make her feel welcome as she delivers the power of integrity.
Let me start by saying Happy Memorial Day, and not to forget the reason for this day. It has to do with the integrity of so many men and women who decided to serve in a unique position as a military person representing the United States of America. My family, through all of my ancestors, my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my father, and all my brothers, and my sister-in-law served 83 years all total in the military service. So I am honored and very proud. But today I want you to come with me to the National Mall in Washington, D.C. It was August of 1983, and the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was struggling as he attempted to deliver a message of hope to some 250,000 people who had come onto the mall to hear his speech. And as he struggled, one of his friends and confidants, the late Mahalia Jackson, had to have an internal debate with herself. Should I help him? I see what's happening. I want to be there for him. Now, mind you, let me set the stage. These two people knew and trusted one another. There was integrity between them. They could depend on what the other person said. And although she was not sure that this was a moment that she should do anything, she decided to walk across the stage and go to where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was. And as she walked across the stage, her heart was pounding. Because what if he hadn't listened to what she was going to say? What if he was going to be distracted by her even more? But she had to take that chance. And when she got to his side, all she did was she leaned over and said, "Tell him about the dream. Tell him about the dream, Martin." And the next words to come out of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s voice was, "I have a dream. I have a dream today." Imagine if Mahalia Jackson had not trusted the integrity that existed between the two of them, what would have happened? I want you to imagine, because our theme today is mental health awareness, what would happen or what would have happened if Dr. King had not changed his speech stance, if he had continued along whatever line he was taking, because we don't know now what he was trying to say, because his "I Have a Dream" speech is recorded in history as the greatest speech he ever gave, only because there was integrity between he and the late Mahalia Jackson. Do you have friends that you have that kind of integrity with? People who trust your word, who trust you and know that they can stand on that? That's amazing. That in itself is a stress buster, because mental health awareness and mental health, good mental health, means the absence of stress or a great reduction in it. And if you know that you are feeling stressed out, you need to pivot. Change whatever it is that you're doing so that you can reduce the amount of stress that you're experiencing. But by his speech being accepted by the masses, you could hear, if you ever listened to that speech, how his voice began to resonate. You could hear the enthusiasm that he was feeling. You could hear and discern the self-confidence that he had, all because he decided to pivot. He changed his voice, he changed his tenure, and he changed his subject matter very smoothly in such a way that the audience didn't even notice. But had it not been for his friend who stepped out on faith and said, "I have to try and rescue my friend. He is sinking. He doesn't even realize he is sinking." The audience is not paying him any attention. And I dare say, if the audience was moving around and fidgeting, they too felt a sense of stress. What is he trying to say? What message is he trying to deliver? What does all of what he's saying mean? Because they said that in the twinkling of an eye, the first time that he came with the statement of the title of that speech, which became "I Have a Dream," when he enunciated those words for the very first time, the audience was quieted, a hush fell over the audience, and you could realize that. So I dare say that the audience felt a sense of calm. They were more at attention, all because there was integrity between Dr. King and the late Mahalia Jackson. Think about that. Integrity can cause you to reduce the amount of stress that you're incurring. And let me tell you that the brain does something magnificent when you decide to help yourself. There are happy chemicals, dopamine, serotonin, GBD. All of these chemicals are neurotransmitters that the brain sends out to help assist in calming us down. But to know that you have someone that you have integrity with and who also has integrity with you, that means that you have an opportunity to be that person's friend, cohort, or whatever. But anytime that there's a sense of integrity and trust between two people, between people and an organization, between nations, think about what happens when the nations trust each other. But you know what happens when they don't. We're living through that right now. Integrity goes a long way in reducing stress. And stress being reduced once we decide to pivot. When we reduce the amount of stress that we incur, our mental health has received an injection and a boost. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster DeMarie. It sounds so simple to get that boost without even paying a cent. All you need is integrity and be at peace, and everything will flow. So we will remember that in the coming days so that we can pivot and be just happy with our integrity and how we keep ourselves calm and soothing without any stress. So far we have had our two speakers, and then now comes the time when we are going to hear or speak. Now we have heard how DeMarie craftily introduced that famous talk. Tell them what you're going to tell them. Tell them how she merged it with integrity today. And someone who we have never heard speak about our mental health. Like this is our theme today. Our impromptu theme will be our impromptu session, mental health. Let's make Toastmaster Judy feel welcome as she is our table topic speaker for this meeting.
Thank you. So we're going to have, how many of us we have? I have about 10 of these questions. So let's see. Our table topics. PowerPoint are right here. Okay, so I have all these questions of different quotes. Let's see. All right, so no amount of anxiety can change the future. No amount of regret can change the past. So let's see. Oh, Talha, you are the person for this particular quote. Good morning.
Good morning, or rather good night. Thank you so much, Madam Table Topics Master. No amount of anxiety can change the future, and no amount of regret can change the past. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. I'm sure this phrase is familiar from one of the World Championship speeches heard in the recent years. And that is true. In fact, this beautiful phrase encompasses something that I'm trying to do right now, and perhaps we should all try to do, and that is live for the day. Because we spend half our time too worried about future, and most of that we cannot control. Similarly, the other half is spent regretting the past, and that is even more futile. Because while we may have a smidgen of control over the future through the acts that we are doing right now, there's absolutely no changing the past. We can only fool ourselves. In fact, we are already fooling ourselves because our memories, believe it or not, are not entirely accurate. They're presenting a version of events that is most acceptable to us. So I urge each and every one of us, only invest in things that either make you feel better or make this world a better place, whether in the present or in the future. If you think about it, everything else pretty much is futile. Because, once again, no matter how much we worry, we can't change the future, and no amount of regret can change the past. Over to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you. Rosemary, I thought you were timing table topics. Yes? No? She's not there.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
looking for it, but anyhow.
No, I thought
I
she
know
was.
she was. I
thought
was a
she
timer, but
was-
she said she's timing table topics, but
Yeah, Judith, she
apparently
thought she was. I
she
get.
disappeared somewhere.
No, sorry about that. I'm there now.
Okay, all right. Next one. Breathe. It's just a bad day, not a bad life. Let me get myself out of the picture here. Okay, so Alex, this is your quote.
Okay, so breathe. It's just a bad day, not a bad life. When I think of this quote, it helps if I actually pivot and put my camera on because I thought it was off. I didn't realize it was off. But it comes to mind is the show Ted Lasso. In the first episode, one of the players makes a mistake and he goes up to the player and says, what is the only fish that has the shortest memory? And he's like, I don't know. It's a goldfish. He's got 1 second memory. And so the term be a goldfish is a term that Ted Lasso fans know very well. But the bottom line is one bad thing isn't going to ruin everything. And I think that we need to do a better job of that. Maybe I need to do a better job of that, which is making sure that one thing doesn't snowball into something else. It can go the other way, where one good thing can kind of snowball into a whole bunch of other things. But one bad thing, if you have the right perspective, can go into something worse. Or if you can stop it, it can be something that will pass like a goldfish's brain, not brain, but a goldfish's thinking, which is after a second or two, it's gone. I'm not sure about the timer.
I don't know what happened to Rosemary. I think
Okay,
she's-
I'm like a little off, so I that's why there she is. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I just wasn't sure. So
No, but who is? Nobody is. I actually was
that's
looking
my
at
story, and
phone.
I'm sticking to it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Cassandra, this is your next quote. You don't have to control your thoughts. You just have to stop letting them control you. She's not there. What is going on here?
Everybody's
Cassandra,
on
are you there?
weekend. Everybody's on Memorial Day weekend time, I think.
I don't know. I have not been on a Memorial Day weekend thing. All right. Okay. So let's see. Okay, Rosemary, let's do yours and I will type table topics. Or somehow we're going to get through this. Okay. So this is your quote right here. And unmute yourself.
You don't have to control your thoughts. You just have to stop letting them control you. So who will time me?
Mhm, yeah,
Okay, so I'm ready. Are you
Oh,
gonna let me think about the question and then answer, or you're going on to the next person? What's the deal?
Well, Cassandra, you were not there. So do you want to answer this question?
No,
I mean, this
no,
quote.
I thought I was unmuted, but I wasn't. Okay,
Okay, so
so
all right,
I'm
so
gonna
then Rosemary will time you, and this is your quote right here.
Okay, so it's the matter of not letting situations control you. You are in control, because otherwise any situation will control you. You'll just always be at the realm of situations, any situations, any situation. If you'll allow people, situations, things to come about in your life and just keep moving, you'll just be at the realm of any situation, anything, any person that come into your life. If you just, something pops up and then you react to it. So you'll always be in the mode of reacting, always at that reaction mode, never proactive, but reactive.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have Robert Frost here. Let's see. DeMarie, this is your quote. The best way out is always through, said Robert Frost.
Have you ever realized that there is a best way out of anything? And it may not necessarily be through, but you will sometimes have to pivot in order to find the best way out. And when I think of the best way out, I'm not thinking of coming necessarily out of a place or a structure. The best way out, if you have a plan, the best way out is to see it through fruition. And if it's not working, then you pivot. If you're in a car and you've run out of gas, the best way out is to refuel that automobile. So it's not necessarily through, but every writer, including Robert Frost, gives you their mindset on any topic that they choose to speak about. That's why he would tell us that the best way out is always through. And what he means, what I gather from what he said and may mean, through means finished. In one sense, it means finished, finality. So yes, we're always looking for the best way out so that we can bring whatever it is that we're doing to fruition. And if we find that it's not working in the way that we're trying to make it work, we need to pivot. There's always more than one way to skin a cat. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you. Okay, so then we have one more for Rosemary. There is your Martin Luther King quote. I always like this. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving, he said.
Thank you, Madam Table Topic Master. Sometimes in life, we arrive at a point where we feel stuck. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt that something is just blocking your way and you have to slow down, but instead of slowing down, you stop? Now what happens? You are more stuck than anything else because you feel like there are weights, heavy weights pinning you down on the ground. But guess what? When you let those weights pin you down on the ground, you are literally not moving and nothing is working for you. So time is moving on and you are stuck here it's like you're moving backwards because time has gone on. Before you look at it, a week has passed and a month has passed. And hence, this is why I think this information or this quote was made. If you can't fly, run. There are some of us who move faster than the other, and so we can fly. But if you can't fly, you run. Because you're not supposed to compare yourselves to anyone else. You move at your own pace. And if you can't run, you walk. There are times when we can't even move, but you walk. And it is telling you, whatever you're doing, keep moving. Just keep moving. You will be better off today than you were yesterday. Whereas if you just keep stuck in one position and not moving, you might just be worse off. So I love this quote: if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. And if you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you're doing, keep moving. Keep moving. One foot in front of the other, one step at a time. Remember the quote. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Back to you, Madam Table Topic Master.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I couldn't do the timing and doing the same thing. I found that. But anyway, this is not a problem there. You were 2 minutes. Okay. Anyway, so I think we did all this. Thank you so much. And that will now pivot back to our Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for your thought-provoking words of wisdom, where we had to think, where we had to pivot from one speech to the next, from one idea to the next. And at this time, I am going to call on our general evaluator, Toastmaster Cassandra, to take charge of this portion of the meeting. Let us make her feel welcome.
Thank you, Rosemary. And now it's that portion of the time where we ask for our grammarian. Do we have a grammarian
No,
today?
the evaluation. This is the evaluation portion of the meeting.
Well, that's the evaluation, and ask for our grammarian for the word of the day. Aha, counter.
No, the speech
No,
evaluators.
the speech evaluators.
For that speech evaluator. So now we ask for, is it Alex? Alex is going to evaluate, DeMarie.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
you gave the first speech, Alex. I'll be the first
Yeah,
evaluator.
that's fine. That's fine. I just put us both up here.
Okay, great. So, and you can leave us both up here because we're
I
going to
know.
be evaluating each other.
It goes either way.
Exactly. We'll do it.
Okay.
Alex, let me just say, happy Memorial Day. What a great message that you gave. You started out by saying, we all are going to be celebrating Memorial Day this weekend, but in essence, it's not really a happy day. It's a solemn occasion. It's a solemn weekend. When you think about those who served as veterans and what they were up against as in their service, you also talked about the sacrifices that they made. You gave us a poignant view of a young woman, a widow, mourning the loss of her young husband who had served in the military and did not return from battle. You couldn't help but visualize that. You said also women have served, maybe not on the front line, and then we know today some of them do. But you had good hand gestures. You also had very good references. You talked about your brother, your father, your uncles, all in the military. And then you talked about the movie Dunkirk and that your wife's family, her grandfather, was actually there. That's a war movie, and my husband was a war movie buff, so trust me, I've seen Dunkirk, okay? I had to smile when you said that. But because of all the soldiers, you said we as a nation are as free as we are. We need to be thankful for what we have and the position in the world that we're in. You said once a year while we're eating hot dogs and drinking all the beverages that go along with that we need to be expressing our gratitude that we are where we are. If I were to give you any stretch goals, I couldn't tell if you were standing and I wasn't sure, but you know how you were. Then I don't have any real stretch goals. I know you didn't have a lot of time to possibly prepare for this, but you were able to tie it into things that were very pertinent and you made it absolutely work. The flow could have been a little bit better. And I know why it wasn't. You were thinking of what you were going to say next. I understand that. But for this occasion, that was a very appropriate speech. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And now we'll switch
1
roles.
minute. Let's give 1 minute. Let's give 1 minute.
We don't need 1 minute after the evaluation. We usually have minute after the speech, right? Right. Okay,
We'll give
so
1 minute. Well, it says 1 minute here.
Okay.
Okay, 1 minute.
Okay.
Thank you. And
thanks.
now, Alex.
Marie, I'm not really going to talk about the content of the speech because I've heard this. We've all heard the speech many times, and that's not what this is about. What I really want to focus in on is the fact that the way you really pivoted this speech, and this really kind of goes to what Toastmasters is all about. Having a topic and still making it relevant within what you're trying to do. I thought that your vocal variety was good. Your hand gestures were good. You really made it pertinent to what we are doing today. I loved how you used the word integrity, and you used it many times to kind of really hone in on that being an important part of the speech. Like I said, I've heard the speech before, and that wasn't the real crux of the evaluation. In terms of what you did well, again, you made sure that we weren't bored with a speech that you already had spoken. And I think that that's what's really important about Toastmasters, that you can take a speech, tweak it just enough to make it fit to your needs. The same way back in the day, before there was television, whatever, politicians would use the same speech over and over again and tweak it to their audience. And I think that there's something to be said for that way to go about that. And I think that also goes back to preparation. You know your speech. Unlike me, who didn't know his speech as well as you did. And I don't mean that to be funny. It's a great example of having a prepared speech, a pocket speech, like we like to say, versus on the fly, almost like a table topic, what I did. So my only, if you want to call it stretch goal, is try to think where you can fit that speech into other areas, and keep working with that way of trying to fit your other speeches into different roles. I think that that could really be beneficial on all, and we could all benefit from that. Yeah, I think it was a great speech. Back to you guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
And now, back to you, table topics. I'm sorry, Toastmaster. Toastmaster Rosemary.
No, you have to ask for the functionaries.
Hi, Cassandra. This time you're going to ask for the grammarian and timer to give their
Right.
report.
Mhm.
Can I get the timer to give the report, please? Toastmaster Rosemary.
Okay, the timing is, since I am the timer.
I thought Rosemary was given. She was the timer that.
Rosemary was the timer for the table topics.
Never mind. It's the timer. Can I please have the report, please?
Okay, Alex's speech was 5 minutes and 44 seconds. Marie was 6:29. The evaluation was Marie was 2:05 and Alex was 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, and table topics.
For the table topics, I had Toastmaster Alex, 1 minute 45 seconds. Toastmaster Cassandra, 1 minute 16 seconds. Marie, 1 minute 30 seconds. And I do not have mine, and the first person
Yours
who
is 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
okay, 2 minutes, 3 seconds to Master Rosemary. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Back to you.
Okay. And for we had timing, we had
Grammarian.
grammarian report.
Is that you, D, today? I'm not sure who's what.
I am the grammarian.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure you were it, because at this point, I don't know what role anybody is.
Grammarian report.
And I want to thank everyone for your expert delivery of the English language. Everybody was able to pivot at just the right time. I only heard 2 so's, and that was it. And I dare not even record that. I think that in this club, we have put forth an effort and stretched ourselves to the limit of trying to enunciate clearly, be mindful of how we're saying what we say, and we utilize the pregnant pause to its maximum ability to help keep us focused, help keep us on point, and to give us that necessary time that we need to say the right thing at the right time. It worked today. I have no one that I have any marks against at all. There were so many phenomenal sayings, to include the table topics, that I will not go into that. It would take too long to go through them. Let me just say that we have grown in our use of verbiage with the English language and the way we express things. Just to know that it held everybody's attention. We started out putting this meeting together in real time, and look what we accomplished. I want to thank everyone for pouring into making this meeting a success. At the last minute, we started late because we had to pull the meeting together, but that's understandable. Look at what we accomplished. For the word of the day, it was used a total of 18 times. That is phenomenal. Everybody got on board and started talking about making a pivot of some kind for some reason, somewhere, and we just did the thing. Thank you so much. And I return the mic to you.
Thank you for that, Marie. And I would like to say, as part of being the general evaluator, that this is what happens when you come together as a team, as a club. We don't have what we had at the beginning part as a collaboration, as a team. I want to express my sincere gratitude to Judith. I don't think Lisa's still on here, but Lisa DeMarie, please extend that to her for jumping in. And it's a shame that we have members that don't come so that we can have a meeting, pull off a meeting that the same people have to be here to try to pull together a meeting, or that we have to. And I'm glad that Judith is that we can rely on her. And DeMarie can call on her friends to come in so that we can have a meeting. But it's a shame that we don't have our own members. And I'm just going to just say it like it is. That we can't rely on our own members to come pull together a meeting. It's just a crime and shame. And everybody know why.
It's a holiday, actually.
No, it can be just a regular old Monday, and they're not gonna come, okay? And you know that you have to come in on regular old Monday for us, and it's a shame. But Judith, thank you. So we still pulled together a meeting. That's the bottom line. Thank you. Happy Memorial Day. Think about our loved ones. Think about the ones that was far, so far. You know, we're still gonna be resilient. We still had a meeting. We still pulled off. So back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator and her team, for giving us objective feedback, which is what Toastmasters is all about. You give objective feedback. At this time, I'll call our meeting to a close.